Welcome students. Today we'll discuss about the new chapter or the next chapter from your economics book, that is your food security in India. Students, as the word security is related here, generally we are thinking about what security is. In general sense, security means protection. And here food security means protection from food. Students, in India, there are large section of people, those who are going to bed without food. They are unable to get square meal a day, whereas few people, they are enjoying a luxurious life. But what about those people? I have told you large section of the society, they are not getting proper nutritious food. That is why here food security is important for the nation. We can't talk about the few people. Rather, we will take in general about the large section of the people who are unable to get square meal a day, proper food, even if they are getting food, but that is not qualitative or you can say nutritious food. So what about the nation? If the people are not getting proper nutritious food, thereafter there is the problem of malnutrition. So food security for a nation, is ensured if all of its citizens have enough nutritious food available. All persons have the capacity to buy it, as well as there should not be any obstruction, barrier in accessing the food. So, in this chapter, we are going to discuss or understand about what, why, how and for whom we will do the security of the food. Why it is necessary, for whom it is necessary, and how it is available to the people. That will be the discussion in this chapter. So, food security means availability, accessibility and affordability of food to all people at all times. People are not getting food properly in our country. So, it should be available to them, accessible to them, and it should be affordable to them also. Generally, the poor households, they are more vulnerable to food insecurity. And that is when there is problem of production and distribution of food crops. Generally, as you have told, the distribution of food crops, and this is depends upon public distribution system, that is PDS, and government vigilance and action at times. What is government vigilance and action at time? It means sometimes there is malpractices going on during the time of distribution, as well as sometimes your shops are also not being opened, ration shop through which PDS system is going through. At that time, the action of the government is most important. So the government must be vigilant in doing all sort of activities so that security will not be threatened. So this is what in this chapter we are going to discuss all about. Now, the question is, what is food security? As you know, there are three basic importance in the life of the people: food, cloth, shelter. You can say food is the most important out of that. So, as we need air to breathe and water to drink, so also food is an essential item for the people. But food security is something more than getting 2 square meal a day. We are talking about the 2 square meal. No, it is not about that only. It is more than that. So, for food security particularly depends upon these three dimensions. What are those? As I have told you, accessibility, availability, and affordability. This is the most important dimension of food security. Let us discuss what these three important dimensions are. Availability of food means food production within the country, food imports, and the previous year stock stored in government granaries. Suppose sometime there is failure of food crops. At the time, what will happen? At the time, the government has to import food grains from other parts of the country or from other country also. At the same time, keeping this in mind, government has to maintain a stock of that. So in time of necessary, the government can use that stock. So that is why food could be available to the people of this country. That is what availability means. Then accessibility. It means food is within the reach of every person. That is how sometimes if the cost of the food is more, at that time it will be very difficult for the people to get it. So that it should be accessible. The price should be fixed in such a way that it will within the reach of the people, so that they can buy it. So third one, affordability. It implies that an individual has enough money to buy sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet one's dietary needs. People should have that amount to purchase the nutritious food, and that will be sufficient for him so that he could maintain his dietary needs. This is the three important dimensions of food security: availability, accessibility and affordability. Now, so food security is ensured in a country only if, it means how this accessibility, availability and affordability could be maintained. It could be maintained only if, first, the point is enough food is available for all the person. There must be plenty of food available for all the people of this country. Then there will be this three dimension could be carried out, could be ensured. And all the persons should have the capacity to buy food that will be of good quality, acceptable quality. Should have that amount, capacity to buy. And third one, there should not be any obstruction on accessing the food. No barrier on access to food. If these 3 points could be taken up properly, then and there only the problem of food security could be resolved in a country. Otherwise, it will be a difficult task. Now, the question is that if we are talking about food security, why it is needed first? The poorest section of the society, they are facing a lot of problem, particularly they are more vulnerable to food security. While person above the poverty line also food insecure when the country faces a national disaster or calamity like earthquake, drought, flood, tsunami, widespread failure of crops causing famine. Not only the poor section of the society, but also people above the poverty line also facing the problem of food security. When there is natural disaster or calamities like earthquake, drought, flood, tsunami. Take the condition of present day. This is a great pandemic going on throughout the world. That is the problem of coronavirus. This was a pandemic situation. During this period also, people are facing a lot of problem. So, both the poorest section of the society as well as people above the poverty line are facing the problem of food security. So, this could be solved. Now, how is food security affected during a calamity? I have told you during the period of natural calamities and disaster, people are facing a lot of problem of food insecurity. But how? The situation is that due to natural calamity like drought, total production of food grains decreases. When there is drought, the production automatically decrease. So if the production will be decrease, there will be no plenty of food grains available in the country. And this is what it leads to shortage of food, particularly in the affected areas. And due to the shortage of food, what will happen? Automatically the price will goes up. And when the price will go up, at that time it will be very difficult for the people, particularly the poorest section of the society, to get it. And I have told you, accessibility is the most important part of food security. So when the price will rise, people will not get that amount of money to buy the food. So this is how, if such calamity happens in a very widespread area, then it may cause a situation of starvation. Large number of people will die because of food, deficiency of food. A massive starvation might take a turn of famine, when large number of people will be killed because of starvation. Now, what is famine? If massive starvation could lead into famine, then what that famine is? Generally, a famine is characterized by widespread deaths due to starvation and epidemics caused by forced use of contaminated water or decaying food or loss of body resistance due to weakening from starvation. Now, what is that famine? It leads to widespread deaths. Why that widespread deaths caused? It is because of starvation. And you know, when there is starvation, people are forced to use contaminated water, which is not at all good for the body, decaying food, which cannot be digested by the body also. And as a result of this, the body resistance capacity will be weakened because of the starvation. So this leads to famine. And because of that famine, large number of people are killed. So, do you know who were affected the most by the famine? We know that because of famine, large number of people are killed. But how and who? Who were the people affected by this? The agricultural laborers, fishermen, transport workers, and other casual laborers were affected most by the increasing price of rice. Sometimes when there will be famine-like situation, automatically the price will goes up. And in this condition, it will be very difficult for the people like agricultural laborers, because they solely depend upon the agricultural activities. And fishermen, transport workers, casual laborers, they hardly get works in a day. All these people are affected most by the famine because of increasing price rise. And these people are the ones who died in this famine. The most devastating famine that occurred in India was the famine of Bengal in 1943, in which more than 30 lakhs people were killed in the province of Bengal. And nothing like the Bengal famine has happened in India again. What could the situation during that period of time, students? You imagine 30 lakhs people were killed in this famine. You see, one of the images, Bengal famine of 1943, a family leave its village in Chittagong district of Bengal. The family is under compulsion to leave the village because they are unable to maintain their family member. So, not only this, it is also a very disturbing note to note that even today we are discussing about the Bengal famine, but today also such cases are happening. There are places like Kalahandi and Kasipur in Odisha where people are dying because of starvation. You see the image, Kasipur. Then Kalahandi. This is the image of Kalahandi. How the people, the small children are eating, you see. They are not getting proper food, and particularly they are not getting nutritious food. So large number of people are dying today also in these parts of Kalahandi and Kasipur of Odisha. Somewhere famine-like conditions have been existing for many years, and in places starvation deaths have also been reported. So today also some places are there, famine-like conditions are existed, and because of that today also people are dying because of starvation. It has been reported in the Baran district of Rajasthan, Palamu district of Jharkhand, and many other remote areas during the recent years. The cases are arising. Therefore, food security is needed in a country to ensure food at all times. It was not the case of Bengal famine. Today also, the cases are rising. So it is very important to provide food facility to those people. That is what the most important aim of food security. So it is needed all the time to ensure proper food to the people at all times. The image of Baran, so thereafter the image of Palamu, both the cases, the example of how the people are leading their life because of not getting proper food. You see, starvation victims arrive at a relief center in 1945. You see the condition, because of starvation, their health quality. Because when the people are not getting proper food facility at that time, suddenly what will happen? Their resistance capacity of the body will decrease, and it will lead to death. Now the question is that, who are food insecure? Who are food insecure? It means food security is needed for whom? Although a large section of people suffer from food and nutritious insecurity in India, the worst affected groups are landless people with little or no land to depend upon, traditional artisans, providers of traditional services like your potterman, blacksmith, petty self-employed workers, and destitutes including beggars. It is most important for those people. Many large section of the society suffering from food insecurity, but the condition is so worse, particularly in the cases of people with little or no land to depend upon. Traditional artisans who are not getting proper work opportunity today because there is no demands of those traditional articles because of the scientific developments, arrival of the modern machinery systems. So, food security is most important for them. These are the vulnerable section of society. I am just giving you an example about the story of Ramu. Ramu is a casual laborer in agricultural field in Raipur village. His eldest son Somu, a 10 years old, worked as a pali to look after the cattle in the house of the village Sarpanch Satpal Singh. 10-year-old boy is working, his son is working in the house of the Sarpanch of the village Satpal Singh. And for this purpose, as he is working in the house, he is getting 1,000 for this work. 1,000 for whole year, not monthly. It is for 1 year. At the same time, Raju had 3 other sons and 2 daughters, but they are very small. They cannot be made to work. At the same time, his wife Sunari is also working as a part-time worker, that is as a house cleaner for the livestock, removing and managing cow dung. So she is also employed, but that is part-time one. So you see, both Ramu and his wife is working and his son is also working. So as his wife is working, she gets half liter of milk and some cooked food along with vegetables for her daily work. She is not paid monthly. She gets half liter of milk, some cooked food and some vegetables. This is his payment, daily work, for daily work. Besides that also, Sunari, the wife of Ramu, also worked in the field along with her husband during the seasonal work to supplement his earning. So it means you can say all the elder member of the families are earning, besides his 3 other sons and 2 daughters. But agriculture being a seasonal activities, Ramu gets opportunity to work in that particular agricultural season. That is during the time of sowing, transplanting and harvesting. So what about the rest of the time? In the rest part of the year, that is about 4 months, during the period of plant consolidation and maturing in a year, Ramu remains unemployed. And during this period of time, when he remains unemployed, he looks for work opportunity in other fields. But sometimes he gets in bricklaying or in construction activities, sometimes he didn't get also. By all his efforts, Ramu is able to earn enough either in cash or kind for him to buy essential for 2 square meals for a family. So when he is getting the work opportunity, he is able to maintain his livelihood. That is what? To supplement his family. That is 2 square meal for his family. But it is some time. However, during the day when he is unable to get work, he and his family really face difficulties. And sometimes the small kids have to sleep without feet. This is the condition in India today also. There are so many people in this country who are going to bed without food. Milk and vegetables are not regular part of the meals in his family. So, we have got the example how the people in rural area facing the problem of food insecurity. It means who are food insecure. That is what we have got from the example of Ramu. Students, today we have discussed about the need of food security and people who are facing the problem of food security, or you can say who are food insecure. We have got the example that is taken from the rural area with the story of Ramu. In the next class, we will discuss which categories of people in the urban area are facing the problem of food security. So with this, now I am just giving you one assignment to be prepared at your home. The assignment is very simple one. You just read out I am reading out the assignment. Gather more information about famines in India. In this class, we have already discussed about the famine in Bengal in 1943. There are many famine occurred in this country. Just gather information about these famines. Now, I'll ask some questions about the portion what we have discussed today. The first one is in the form of MCQ, multiple choice question. The first question is, what does accessibility means? Option A, food is within reach of everyone. Food, option B, food is within reach of rich person. C, food is within reach of urban people. D, food is within reach of rural people. So, the question is, what does accessibility means? The answer to this question is option A, food is within reach of every person. Now, the second question is, name the three dimensions of food security. It is one more questions. Name three dimensions of food security. The three dimensions of the food securities are availability, accessibility, and affordability. These are the three dimensions of food security. So, with these questions, today we have completed the first part of the chapters, that is, who are food insecure, why do the people need food security. Next part of the discussion we will discuss in the next class.